So the first thing I see is a grand staircase, beautiful grand staircase. It almost reminds me of like marble, or I would think I would slip on them because they're so shiny. But I see like a grand staircase, but the staircase leads into many different directions. And I heard the divine voice tell me that the universe is so vast. It would be unfathomable for one mind, even the most brilliant mind, to truly explore and know all the details that have gone into creating this particular portion of the universe, and that how important it is at this time and this junction in our lives, in our history, to choose the best direction, that as an individual, we already know that we're supposed to go in that direction. All directions are not benevolent. All directions are not malevolent. She's talking about, or I'm hearing about, that our lives are divided into like quarters or segments or sections, and that each segment, each section leads to different directions. We must decide what it is that we truly choose, regardless of what everyone else around us has chosen, regardless of what nature is going to do. We choose the direction we want to go to, just as we choose how we will respond. We choose how we will process. Sometimes things happen that muddy those waters, and fear can prevent us from making the best choices for ourselves. This is a time, these are the generations that are examining and recognizing not only what individuals fear, but what a mass consciousness fears. This is a momentous time in your history. The upheavals, the discontent, the revelations are intense. Some individuals may not be able to handle the intensity of this time. So much is being unearthed. It's important not to stay in the energy of discord. Recognize the discord. Evaluate it for yourself. Pay attention to how the discord is also affecting not only those in your circle, but also those throughout the world. Change is imminent. Change is not always perfect. Change precedes change. When something is good, you really don't want to change it. You want to preserve it. You want to honor it. When change is hostile, violent, in your face, only allow yourself to stay in that energy as long as it takes to shift the change to good. This universe does not discriminate. This universe invites all to be as they were created to be. the lessons truly honoring and respecting one another are at the forefront. So many travesties have manifested. We cannot close our eyes to. We must see it as it is. If it is not palatable for your soul, it is even more abhorrent for it to be forced upon you. Many of you are ready. Many of you are not. Many of you have been prepared. Many of you have not. Many of you understand, and many do not. Your minds will engage you when something isn't right or doesn't feel right. We speak of the energy that you experience that causes disharmony in your being. Your physical bodies are antennas, receivers, if you may, of all that is. When you sense, you must push or distance or detach yourself from someone or something. It is your physical body making you aware of necessary change. You must do this at your own pace. This is not a race. You have generations of ancestors who continue to walk with you, and they assist you with their knowledge, their experiences, even their shame, to assist you and future generations in making and creating better environments for your physical bodies. There is an increase of communication spiritually in your dreams. Discover the path to freedom in your dreams. If you have a dream which has been repeating itself and makes you uncomfortable, perhaps instills your insecurities, your fears, your nightmares, consciously approach your sleep time as an arena of healing, for in your dreams you are not limited by your physical bodies. Many of the greatest will die in their sleep. Many of the smallest will die in their sleep. But it is not a death to the spirit, but to the tabernacle that once housed a soul. Your souls have never been limited to your physical bodies, but your soul responds through your physical body. Your soul is valuable. Anything you partake of, everything you hear or see or sense or touch affects your soul. The soul and the body are always connected. Your soul can guide you if you find something repugnant to you. You just don't want to partake of it. You just don't want to do it. You must separate yourself from it and trust what your soul is telling you is right for you. There will be advances in methodologies of teaching, especially for the little ones. Every soul of every child brings something to benefit humanity. Immediately, the conscious mind may turn towards the benefits and value of monies. You do have to survive. You will do your best to survive. What must you alter or augment to live your greatest story? What do you need to add or subtract or multiply in your life to live your greatest story? Your story will not exclude any challenges that are beneficial to you or those around you. So many have suffered great bouts of emotional, mental, physical, spiritual pain. You have been illuminated about those who are wolves in sheep's clothing. And now you have wolves in wolves' clothing. We honor all creatures. The metaphor of the wolf is necessary, for wolves are hungry just as you are. And once they have picked their prey, they do not hesitate in capturing it. Recognize the innocents around you who are prey. Their innocence and sweetness must be preserved and protected. To deny a child its childhood is heinous. There are those who procreate mindlessly, some who have no compassion or business raising a child. The sooner this is identified, the better it is for the child. There are innocent souls that are born into families of great dysfunction. Children who have been abused and programmed to believe that all authority is outside of themselves. I say unto you, every child has their own authority. They must, though, be able to witness and experience benevolent authority figures who encourage the children to use their imaginations, to explore and to experiment, to understand the nature of things. Every child must be taught of the sacredness of their tabernacle as this wave of clearing flows through these next generations. It is wise to acknowledge the ancestors, your ancestors, who they were, what were their skills, what were their experiences in life, in love, relationships. What were their experiences? Far too many on this planet feel they are not worthy. Far too many believe they have been abandoned and based on the evidence. It is true. There's a huge difference in abandoning yourself to your imaginations and abandoning a child. Each of you were created in a womb. Even if your life started in a petri dish, you were not abandoned. Humans thrive when they are being held in a way that is pleasant for them. If someone is touching you in a way that is unpleasant and it is consistent, then the direction suggested is to no longer allow that to happen. And the challenges of that can be great. You will all make mistakes. You will all do something that you regret. Must I remind you, you are a celestial being. And the moments when you can acknowledge when you have truly made a mistake, whether it's something you're ashamed of, whether it's something that's hidden, you do have other directions you can choose so that is not repeated again. Your ancestors beseech you all to remember they too are growing. They too appreciate being remembered and acknowledged. There are many cultures who recognize those who have transitioned to the other side. The other side is all and the same. More are incarnated on this planet who are able to feel and sense past what is considered mundane. They will need guidance to accept who they are It is good to have a plan. There are times, though, those plans do not come to fruition because there is a greater story being told. What is the story of your ancestors? What is your story? Are you the character that you truly embrace? Those who are being born, even as we share time together, they are fresh. They do not know, nor have they experienced many of the vile and unjust situations on this planet. Teach them the history of those who came before them. How can they make this better? That is why they are born. They do not have to be taught discontent. They do not have to be taught the things that your earth is now expelling from its very core. Stay in places that nurture you. Remove yourself from places that don't. All too often, I hear the prayers of those who say, "Help me, I'm stuck. I have no choice." All the resources are depleted. They are being told there is no hope. You each have a choice to how you want to respond or react to the energies that are around you. Secure your temples. Create your space to be a place where your soul is nurtured. Invite benevolence, whether you are cooking, reading, creating, dancing. Invite benevolence. All communications and prayers are heard. You have heard that not a single hair on your head is lost. Every part of your physical body records. Your scientists are discovering this. It is little tiny steps towards a grander understanding of how magnificent your physical bodies are. When you are exposed to hostile environments, your body records it. It is in all of you. It is in your bile. It is in your saliva. It is in your hair. All of your physical body records. You are greater than any computer created on this planet. You have untapped resources. Much meditation is focused on this area here. It would be wise to meditate on this area here. There are doorways that are ready to be unlocked, that have been opened to a select few, lest one goes mad.
It would be like putting in a 60-watt bulb into a 30-watt receptacle. The energy would blow the circuit. One of the greatest opportunities for you to assist in the transformation and the ascension of your civilizations is to access this part of your brains. But do not access it just with your mind and your thoughts. Access it with your hearts. Then you will find what is stored here is vast and greater than your largest library of information. How do you access this part? Many of you listen to music, which does stimulate quite a bit. We are asking you in your prayers that you allow yourself to receive a blanket of light in this area of your brain. You will be surprised what you will discover. You will enjoy what you discover. It is time for these generations to open these parts of your brain where access was denied. It is now time for humanity to open and access those parts of the brain. In doing so, you will dream with greater clarity. You will access your past lives. You will have a greater understanding of the relationships that you engage in. You will discover hidden abilities and talents that may seem superhuman, but are truly divine. When there are masses who are angry, who demand attention, you can take time to see what it is that you can do that will contribute to understanding, peace, and tolerance. You can be a good Samaritan. Only you know what you have excess of. Some of you keep the excess because it feels like a treasure of some sort. But there is still much to be shared. What can you share with someone who is angry? Perhaps you can share with them the direction you choose for peace. Some feel they have no other options because they have been limited or unaware of those options. A kind voice, a compassionate gesture, a comforting hand, a genuine act of service, an unexpected gift. These are just a few things that can relieve the pressure from those who are angry. Is it necessary for you to pay attention to those who are angry? You must decide that for yourselves. At this moment, I view this world as many children throwing tantrums. And those of you who have been parents and understand what a tantrum is, many of you who are teachers and understand what a tantrum is, many of you who are psychologists and understand what a tantrum is. What is the best way to handle that tantrum? Clear boundaries, even for yourself. Too many have been subjected to anger that has existed for generations. They have been the victims. There have been victims of the anger. Mark my words, many things have been created with anger. And not everything created by anger is bad. There are those who take their anger and make it better. Make something better. I am often amused by those on this planet who, when they have so much anger, begin to clean until their dwellings are spotless. It is the same for your spirit. Your anger is helping you to clean your physical tabernacle, your mind, your spirit. Some things can be dusted off, but some things must be scrubbed. Many of the generations on this planet are ready to clean house. What will you do? What will you choose to refresh your soul, your spirit? When is the last time you took to speak to whomever your higher self is? When is the last time that you really took time to talk to your own hearts, to your own mind? If you are doing it already, which I believe many of you are, when there are things that seem to be on repeat in your mind, ask yourself, why is that necessary? Perhaps it's time to change the song, change the lyrics to the song. There's great power in singing. There's great power in the words you use and what you say. You can chant for protection, or you can chant for destruction. Be mindful of what it is you are saying out loud and how you are saying it. One word can make a difference. Don't be afraid to correct yourself. Some days you may look at something and define it as a certain perspective. And the next day you may have an entirely different perspective. Flow with it. Get an understanding of it. No one knows the fact or the facts of your life and your existence. No one. They may have bits and pieces, but they don't have your facts. They haven't lived your life. My questions to anyone who hears this transmission: What is it that you fear? Why do you fear it? Is it a message from your ancestors? What can you do to comfort not only yourself but others from their fears? Who is it that you can hold hands with and walk through their fears with them? Many of you may feel you need time alone in isolation. Honor that. But I must remind you, genuine touch and embrace, not to violate someone or take advantage of them, but to truly love and comfort them, is one of the greatest healers for this planet. Don't allow yourselves to be programmed with the idea that you should not be touched or embraced. You were not alone when you were conceived. At the moment of conception, you made a choice as to what direction your soul would go. You are worth it. From the moment you take your first breath, you are taking a step in a direction that is divine. You will find over generations that the most simplest things are to be treasured, not necessary to hide who you are from anyone. Be who you are. All is recorded. Nothing is lost. You are first. Remember that. Without you, the story ends. Your story may not be volumes. It may even be a line or two. There will be a great sweeping away of that which is repugnant to the innocent. You will see it. A sweeping away of the cobwebs of the past that hold on to energies that do not benefit humanity or all living creatures. When your bodies decay upon death, that energy is swept up into creating even more beautiful worlds. Everything about you is divine. Even the excrement that is necessary to be purged from your body on a daily basis is divine. When you partake of anything, the energy does travel throughout your entire physical body. You must decide for yourself if the energies you are partaking of are beneficial to you. I hear often, I don't want to die. I am not ready to die. Please don't let her die. Don't let him die. Please cure what is happening here. All your prayers have been heard. More revelation is being shared with brilliant minds who will find ways to preserve life. Any sacrifices are made in the process. Attitude makes a huge difference. There is a difference between being enslaved and in service. We hope you would choose to be in service of one another. Beautify your homes, beautify yourselves, beautify your communities, beautify your literature, beautify the arts, beautify. Create the paradise that all of you would appreciate experiencing, regardless of what climate you are in. Take the time to make it better. It's like the song, take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her under your skin. Then you'll begin to make it better, 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 better. Can you make it better? Yes. Are you making it better? Yes. But if you discard yourself, if you discard your omnipotence, if you discard your worth, your value, how are you making it better? If you discard your fellow man and think of them as less than, how are you making it better? Make it better. Make it better. How many times as a child did you fall or bruise yourself or hurt yourself and just wanted to be comforted? Who made it better for you? Did you make it better for yourself? Or did someone have the compassion to say, I can help you and make this better? That's why you are here, to make it better. Think about the recipes that you so enjoy. Some of those recipes you can't make better because they are absolutely magnificent as they are. But some of you can take those recipes and you can make it better. Maybe a different spice, maybe a different ingredient, but you can make it better. Make it better. Better matters. Better matters. Better health. Better interaction with others. Better intimacy. Better enjoyment. Better. Make it better. You all return to the source. There are many directions to the source. Don't allow anyone to tell you there aren't. Right now, you are all so used to vehicles that have wheels. There will come a time on this planet where your vehicles will not need wheels. And everything that you take as normal will become ancient.
new technologies, to new methodologies, new ways to heal. But you must make it better. How can you make it better? Let that be part of your meditations. How can I make it better than this? How does it become better than this? How can I do better? It's easy to judge those who came before you for their stupidities, but it's good that you can see how you can make it better. It is good for you to see that you can make the changes necessary. Embrace the difference. Embrace differences. I do. I look at the varieties that are available. I truly am like a child with a box of crayons. I can make rainbows and unicorns and all kinds of wonderful things, but I can also do other things with those crayons. What will you do to make life better, especially for yourselves? How can you make your life better? How can you make your love better? How can you share better? The better will lead you to the best. The better will lead you to the path that is best for you. Sometimes the path that is best for you is not one that those that you love will want you to go on. But you must trust your journey and the generations that will follow after you have chosen the direction that's best for you. You were created with the better. Never forget that. You were created with the better. And don't be afraid to finish your dreams. Because as you know, there's always another one.